out in Brisbane. We're actually at the home of Megan Gilmour, and I can't wait to meet Megan and her family. So let's go and say hello. Hi, how are you? Hello.
Hello.
Are you excited? Thank you. Are you so excited? Yeah! Are we going to go inside? Yeah! Are we going to go bake some cakes? Yeah! Yay! We'll see you soon! Hi there! We're ready for our first kitchen crash in Brisbane with the lovely Megan Gilmour and her beautiful kids who are going to introduce themselves to you because they're super confident. Who is this little super girl?
My name's Alina and I'm this old.
5. And what about you?
Mine's Emilie and I am this many.
5 too. And what's your name?
Alina and Keira and I'm this
2. Yay, that's Keira and she's 2. We cannot wait. Today we are here for double trouble, triple trouble, and we're going to be making some superhero cakes and we cannot wait. So stay tuned. Here we go for Kitchen Crash.
Hi everybody, today we're going to open our kits.
Woohoo!
And we're going to make a Paco cake and a Wonder Woman cake.
Wow, what's that part? Is that your recipe card?
Yes.
What else have you got?
This.
Hem plates. Yeah, some fondant.
So we have this for the pod.
And then what's this one?
And this is for the pants.
Yeah.
And this is for hair, face.
Yeah, cocoa
This is
powder
for
to
the
make the
face.
hair go brown.
And
Peach
this is
for the
cocoa-
face.
Cocoa for and this is. I think these M&Ms are for the eyes as well.
That's right.
And you put them upside down.
Yeah.
I have.
What else have you got?
Candles. What
Show
is
them
the
up to the
white
camera for
for?
Craig.
What is the
Candles.
white for?
The eyes. What's in there?
Let's open this packet up.
You can just tip it out if you like.
This is for slice the cake.
Yes.
And we got some bread for this baby.
So that's some gloves so that your hands don't get yucky.
Yes.
Cake mix.
And this is cake mix. And what we have some.
Cake mix and some icing.
Why do we need cake mix?
What's this one?
Is this cake mix?
That one's some cocoa. What's this one?
But I got that's the box we're gonna bake it.
That's right. You bake it in the box.
This is some bread.
What about this one? What's this one for?
That's a tray. What's the tray?
To make it on for pretty. And the last thing, rolling pin. So now we've got our superhero girl cakes cut out. We've cut out our templates and we are ready to ice our cakes. Which one are you going to be making?
That one.
Which is this one?
Wonder Woman.
Are you Wonder Woman style? And which one are you making?
Batgirl.
A Batgirl style. Woo! Hey guys, okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing with our kits is we're actually going to be icing them. One of the biggest things about that people get confused with sometimes when icing kits is especially because you've got 2 separate colours that you have to make. And one colour, for example, red, needs an awful lot of food colouring, whereas something like cocoa powder actually dries the icing and therefore you end up needing to add a little bit more milk to it. So what I wanted to say is, it always says it on the recipe card, hopefully, but it says the icing will be very thick at this stage. And I understand there's this temptation to go, oh, it's too thick, and you add the milk straight away. Please don't do that now. So basically what you need to realize is that if you add a lot of food coloring, it's liquid, it's doing the same job as the milk. If you add in cocoa powder, it's drying it out. You're gonna need to add a bit of milk. So what you need to do is keep it really thick. You can see it's like proper thick, unspreadable. And you split it into the 2 bowls, half and half for this particular cake. And you then add your food colorings or whatever it is that you need to add, and then adjust the thickness after you've done it. So you can see we've got 2 halves with this one. For 1 half, I'm going to add cocoa. With the cocoa powder, you can basically add as much as you like, and then you can always add more to it. I wouldn't put in the whole lot straight away, especially because we've done for halves. The bag of icing is designed for a whole thing. So I'm actually going to mix the icing one with the beaters, and then we'll do the power. Ooh, there we go. So you can see it's still making it quite thick. So I think, to me, that's still a little bit light in its brown colour. For this particular one, some cakes you'll find you want it lighter and some cakes you want it darker. So I'm going to add some more. The other thing to remember with butter icing is that actually when you add the milk, I'm going to add just a little bit of milk at a time. You're supposed to measure. Measure, it says 1 teaspoon at a time. That's my teaspoonish. The actual milk also can make the icing that little bit darker. So you can see the icing's now getting a little bit more malleable. Try not to be tempted to dump a bucket load of milk in there at first. Just start with a little bit. You can even do, I sometimes do this trick, because you know when you do that and then your hand spills and you end up with it all in there. Sometimes I'll just pour it into the lid. Or you can measure it with a teaspoon, which I think is what the instructions say. So you can see that that's getting to be quite a good consistency now. Turn it off. Okay. So we'll put this one over here. So with the red food colouring, so there's a couple of things to know with red. You are never going to get it as red as the fondant. Fondant is really dark, dark brick red. And butter icing, if you try and get it brick red, it will curdle. And your icing will get like little floaty white bits on top, which is actually the butter separating out from the icing. So you just put a couple of teaspoons in, keep checking the consistency. I wouldn't put more than 2 or 3 into half of the icing. And then you need to trust that, one, it looks a bit more pinky in the bowl. And when you put all the other fondants on top, it'll look more red. And the second thing to trust is that when it dries darker than it does when it's thin. So just let it get to that red stage. So obviously we can put a bit in. So it's not like when you're doing other colours you add a tiny little drop. So we can put a little bit in like this. We'll have a mix up. So when you do this, you can already see that it's going to change the consistency of the icing. Can you see that icing's already more malleable than it was? So if you'd have added that milk to that straight away, you would have ended up with very, very, very runny liquid. So some people buy, they have red food colouring in their house at home that is like a powder, that's a real specialty one. If you really specifically want yours very dark red, you can buy these powders that you can use. But with the food colouring that we provide, you'll end up with just a softer red. But the most important thing to understand is you can see already how much thicker this one is than this one. So we know that we need a bit more milk into this one to get it a similar consistency to the both. So the most important tip to remember is you add your extra milk at the end of the food colouring, not at the start. So how did you find out about Cake to the Rescue?
I found when I was breastfeeding my twins on Facebook, as I was always on Facebook, and I was looking for cakes for their first birthday. And so
you've been right from the start.
Yeah. And then I ended up sort of trialling it on my sister's engagement party.
Yeah.
Which probably shouldn't try it first, but to be on, probably should be the other way around. But anyway, I did, and it worked really well. And then I did the twin monkeys.
Yeah.
So, and then I was hooked.
It actually worked out really. It's quite good actually. Those first ones you did, you could just do a little twist on them. I think it's harder when you've got a girl and a boy, but if you've got two girls, it's kind of cool. But you're brave. You always do 2 cakes every year.
Yep. Bake the night before.
Yeah.
And then, so it's all cool, and then bake in the morning, and then I ice them both in the evening.
Wow.
I can't make any
So late finish.
Yeah, usually midnight.
Yeah. 2 of my girls.
I always say that, oh yeah, I'll be done by 9. And my husband is like, yeah, no.
You won't. My middle and my youngest child are 2 days apart, and when they were little, all their parties were together. And I used to do the same. I would be baking both cakes, but we didn't have Cake to the Rescue. So I would always be in floods of tears. About 4 a.m, Craig would be like, I'm going to bed, the party's at 10. I'm like, okay. That was kind of half the reason why we ended up with Cake to the Rescue, because I just had such a horrible time making mine. What's your favourite kit that you ever made?
Oh, I really like the Dorothy.
Yeah. You converted the dinosaur Bob green, huh? To make it look like Dorothy? Yeah, it looked really, really cute.
I liked that. Yeah, it's probably my favourite, but I love them all. I love the Rapunzel, was another favourite.
What do you find hardest when you're baking your cake? What's your challenge thing?
Sometimes long pieces of fondant to hold it and place it and it not break.
Yeah.
That's probably.
What would be your big tip? What's your one thing you'd say you've learned? Because you've made how many cakes?
20 or 21.
Oh my god, 21 cakes in 5 years. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. So what's your one big tip if someone was starting? What would you say?
Allow yourself enough time
to enjoy it.
And actually have fun with it.
Yeah. Because it
is fun. It's lots of fun.
If you have allowed the time to enjoy the process, it's fun. But
be creative too. Like that's my favourite. Yeah. Putting your own little twist on things. Like with the Dorothy, doing the little roses and.
Did it take you a while to get up the courage to do your own twist? Was that something that came after you'd done a few?
Well, actually, my very first one, I put my own twist onto it.
Yeah.
Because I did the engagement cake, and so it wasn't actually an actual kit; it was a custom. Yes. So.
So no, you're pretty brave up front. I think for people who aren't super creative, that's the thing. You'll find that once you've made a couple of them, you get a bit braver and you're like, actually, I'm just going to do that bit, or I'm going to do that bit. And some people get creative with all the extra fondant. Sometimes people like to push the cake to one side and leave a space so they can put names down, and people do cute things with the candles and. How you going?
A little gap here.
Yeah, look at mine. So I've ended up. Can you see that my things don't match where I've lined them up? So I'm going to do this. And I'm just going to come over the top. Come over it this way. The good thing is when you're doing this superhero one is once you've kind of got the whole thing covered, you can then go back to this brown, and to get this cake part here. See how I can just put that straight over the top and get the right angle? So I've just basically, that side has got it's a wrong shape. This one I've now filled it in and it looks more like a cape line. So I'll do it with the other side as well. So I'll just come in on top of it because now I've got the whole icing. Come in over the top there and create the line that I want to create. Just like that. And hide that bit of red butter icing down the bottom there. How's that? I think you guys probably seen it before, the old paper towel trick. I don't wet mine because I think that it just makes it all squishy. I get it like a firm bit. I like to get a little corner. Don't touch the cake because you'll just take all the icing off. Just come along beside it. So the awesome thing about this superhero cake is you actually can design it any way you like. So the whole idea is, can you hear us? The whole idea is that whatever you want your superhero to look like. So these ones are designed to look like superheroes themselves, but you can see that one's got bad eyes, one's got a crown. Some kids like to do, there's a pink and purple one, so we've got like a headband, you can add a star. If you like your superhero to have a skirt, you can have a skirt or undies. So basically, you can design yours however you like. You just choose the colours, and then we cut them out, and you can make any style of superhero, anything you want to make. That's what's so cool about this. Okay, we've got everybody here now, and we're going to be doing all of our fondant. And we're going to be making the Wonder Woman version. And which version are you making?
Batman.
Batgirl. Woohoo! So it's double trouble. It's Mummy and Alina versus Lou and Emilie. So we're gonna have some fun baking. Why is Wonder Woman your favourite?
It's just because her amazing.
She's got lots of power, hasn't she?
Her can just jump really high. And I really just want to jump really high, just like her.
Wow. Okay.
In the middle.
The chest goes just to the top of there, doesn't it? Do you see it?
And I know where the face goes.
So it goes just there.
Let me put the face.
Yeah, you got to put it on top of the neck.
Why?
On the neck, just like that. Look at that. What do you think?
So good.
So good.
Alright, let's
How are they getting? They haven't even got theirs on yet.
Not yet.
let's get baking.
Let's get baking. Okay, so what do we have to put on next? The little face? Can you make a little bowl for the nose?
Wait.
You show me your nose making.
See this?
Can you make Mummy a nose? See, look at the picture.
Good, rolling
Get a
little
tiny bit
balls.
and roll it into a ball.
Roll.
Wait.
Perfect, and there's one eye. So the nose goes right in the middle.
I can do that.
Yep, down a little bit. Push it in a little bit. Push. There she goes.
Alright, Lena, you want to put this
We
in
need
your
a mouth.
Oh, we do. What colour is the mouth? Red. Oh, look, we've got the eyes though. Can you push on the eyes?
It's a real small.
And one here.
Is it the same size?
Perfect.
Oh,
Oh, what have you got? I think you've got the bit that we need for the middle of the eyes. What do we put in the middle of the eyes?
Yeah.
The M&Ms, but we want to hide those funny little M's. So you got to put them the other way around. Down here. Squeeze them on. One. And the other one.
Alright, do you want to pick that up?
It looks like an eye.
Do you want to pick that up?
Awesome. What's missing?
Really
The
careful.
mouth.
The mouth.
I want to put the mouth on.
Okay. Do you know how you make the mouth?
Yeah, you just
put it
roll
on
it
the
out
cake?
and loop.
Like a sausage, isn't it?
Yeah, and
But
just
we
do
only
it.
need a tiny bit.
He doesn't have any clothes on.
She's a bit naked. Pop the template on. Is it fit or do I need to make it bigger? Oh, it's a good fit, huh?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Alright. Do you want to try cutting this one out? Or do you want me to do it?
I'm not very good.
How about we do it together?
Because I'm just.
Is she a lefty?
Yeah, she's left-handed.
You're a lefty. Okay, let me come around this side. Are you ready? So we start at the end.
Oh, you're missing huge.
Pointing.
You might break that up.
And you go whoosh. And then let's turn the paper around. See how it's easier when you turn
Wait,
the
can
paper
I try
around?
it myself?
Yes. Do this bit next. And then we'll turn the paper again. That's it. Cut it down. Perfect. Alright. And now,
Can you get fine M&Ms?
and now let me turn it for you so it's easier.
Can you get that? And can you cut
Start
them
up
out?
high. And then cut it from high all the way to the end, and then we take that bit off, and then you can turn it again. Nice and high. That's it. And up. Missed that one. Round the corner. And then we've just got one straight cut at the end. You do that one? That's an easy one, the straight ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I do that makes it look really neat?
What?
You just run your finger like you're tickling
There
it.
you go. You should
Can you do
now.
that? Tickle the corner.
Alright, you want to put them on?
Really gently. Oh wow, it looks so good! Are you feeling proud?
Yeah.
Give me a high five. Oh, smashing it.
Good job.
Actually,
I think this
on
might
the body, I had a bat on
be
it.
that.
Yeah, because I'll have a bat.
Okay.
Yeah, we did the number 5 because the bat's very hard to cut that small.
I don't know. On the shirt.
Okay, when you're making the boots, this is my trick for it. You can cut out the V, you can cut out this part, but when you come to do the foot at the end, see how it's a circle? It's actually too hard. So cut a square and then just take your fingers and do that with the end. I've made it a little bit thick, but we'll cut it out. So can you see, you just do that with the ends, and you can do it with the corner too, and you get the little smooth bit. What do you think? That look good? I think we've got to get her, we can just leave them on the table because we've got to do her legs first, don't we?
Because the legs.
No, it doesn't. Yours looks amazing. We've just gone a bit faster because you're doing such a beautiful, neat job.
A bat on mine.
Awesome.
But I already have my shirt on and my crown. Mine has lipstick on.
How cute is lipstick?
Without
Can you
lipstick
pick
on.
that up?
I love the glitter on my crown.
Looks pretty, doesn't it?
It's so good.
Ready to cut this?
I
Okay,
can't wait to
squash
put
in the
that
ends.
bit on with the glitter.
Cut the eye bits out. Oh, I didn't really think this.
Let's
really
put
we
those
actually gotta
boots
take
out
our
of
eyes
the
off.
way.
What's
There's our 2
We've
boots.
got to put our eyes in the mask.
Alright, let's start the skirt.
Yep, so we've decided, Emily thinks that her Wonder Woman would look really good with a skirt because...
I have a skirt and I'm Wonder Woman.
So we're going to make her have a skirt too. Okay. And that's what's really cool about this kit is you can choose any outfits that you like. That's your favourite outfit. So give it a roll and let's cut out the skirt.
Black skirt on yours.
So what I've learned today is we will be adding to our kit glitter because glitter doesn't come with the superhero cake. So we are adding glitter from today.
I think I need
From today, the superhero girl cake will have glitter. Woo.
Yeah. And I want glitter
On that skirt. Okay, let's put it
And
on.
I want some glitter on the whole area of the costume.
That's a good
The whole
idea.
area of the costume.
So you're going to do it at the end.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so I want to have my glitter right
Pop
there.
your skirt on. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that looks gorgeous.
We might need.
And then you can add your boots.
Alright, Emily, do you want to add? Emily, do you know what? Do you know you have tea?
glittery.
You know that?
Push them further down so they're not on our bottom.
Do you know what Wonder
Down here?
Woman starts with?
And down to the bottom.
What does Wonder Woman start with?
Yes.
You tell me what sound.
W.
Yeah, what sound does it make?
What?
Good job. Well, she looks pretty amazing. So we're now, what do we have left to add to our one? Arms. Arms would be helpful. So there's two ways to make arms. You can make the arms with the template. See the template?
Yeah.
But because it's a little bit tricky, do you know how I make the arms? I just roll sausages.
But
for the
I'm
arms.
gonna do like loop.
Yeah, and we can just bend them. So you roll a
But
sausage,
I have to be little.
you roll a sausage, and I'll roll one.
But I have to be little.
Is it skin color?
Hers are white. She's got white arms because she's got in her outfit.
I just had to add some icing sugar to this.
Got a
Wow.
bit
Because
sticky.
it's a bit sticky.
What is the icing?
Now feel it, Lena.
I need a little bit little.
So yeah, that's a good tip. If your icing gets a bit sticky in the summer, that's why you get that little bag of fondant icing. That little bag of fondant. Sometimes black gets a bit sticky in the summer. You can just add a little bit of icing, and it will just stop it being quite sticky as
Can you help me do
I
this?
can. There's one arm. So where does it go?
Not
It
tasting it
bends and goes like that. How
Alright,
does
you
that
roll it
look?
out for me.
Kids.
Pretty cool. Let's do the other one.
It's gonna be amazing. We need them to be exactly the same. Can I help you?
Alright, what do we need?
How's that?
Good.
Good.
Cut out the
What are we missing? What's still to go?
That thing.
It's called the collar, and what's this bit? A rope, isn't it?
I always think it's like the weapon.
Ah, yes, I think it is. I think she lassos people, doesn't she? Do you know what I do when it's all got stuff in it? You just can't spit on it. Just blow.
No,
Not on this anymore?
That's on this. That's on that one.
Just on that one.
But not on the right.
Well, let's do it here, and then you can sprinkle the glitter on here, so that it's ready to go. So you're gonna open it up.
But I put too much glitter on
Hey, got it? There you go. Sprinkle the glitter.
Na 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 na.
Oh, are you being a kind sister? Are you? Wow.
T-shirt.
How good it looks. You feel proud?
Yeah.
You're doing such a good job. I think it's your superpowers today. Super baby powers.
You put the pants on now?
It's too wobbly.
Put it down.
I can't do that.
Hello, hello. Look what they did. They're making a Batgirl that looks just like you. It's the same as your outfit.
Can you help me, please? Can you really just help me, please?
Absolutely. Is that rope just a bit too
I'm
tricky?
going to a bat on here.
That's a great idea. That's going to be a real challenge for Mama.
Mommy, when I am going to do the bat on there?
At the
How
end.
about you make a bat for me?
Someone actually said to me the other day that they hate the things that have sausages with them because they feel that they fall apart. Hello. but you don't fall. And so what the real trick is if you start rolling it out and it splits, it means it's not warm enough. So what you need to do is really mold it in your hand so you get it really warm, and then you'll find that when you roll it, it doesn't get those little creases in it that make it split. Also just do a bit at a time and just take your time when you're doing it. And see how because it's so warm it didn't split at all? If you
I want to put my rubber on.
There you go. You can put it on.
So we might steal some.
That's it. Some yellow.
What is the yellow?
What does it look like on the picture? Let's have a
some
look.
boots, and then we also need to do
The belt?
the belt. Yes.
Like that.
Perfect.
The hair is
And
already
look, she's got a
yellow.
good long rope. She's going to be able to catch a lot of baddies with that rope, isn't she?
Oh,
Wow.
you're finished.
What do you think?
Good. You just need to.
What would you like to do?
And see our next video. Bye. Kitchen Craft is my favorite.
Woo! So we're here today with our two future Kitchen Craft video queens. And we have, by the lovely Emilie, has made her Wonder Woman with her special flourishes. She's added some stripes to some, what's it called? Some squirrels to her legs. She's boots. She's got her extra stars, gems around her crown, and in her collar. It looks amazing. High five! And what about your one, Alina? Tell us about yours.
Sports boots.
Yes.
It has the sport pants as well.
Beautiful.
And the glitter skirt.
Yes.
And the sport belt. Even the glittery sport bat mask. And
wow.
hats. And I like her hair as well. It's my favorite.
Give your mum a high five. You girls smashed it.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well done.
I think we did it. We did our kitchen craft.